So today we're going to talk about where to find more detailed statistics for your campaign performance data. By default, we land on the campaign page. We want to go to the sidebar and go down to statistics. Once we've clicked on that, we've opened up the statistics portal. And here we can see that there's no data to show simply because this is a dummy account for demonstration purposes, and you'll be prompted to create a new campaign. But when you do have data to show, I will simply create a longer time frame because we have some dummy data in here back from 2022, and I'll click Save. Now, once I've done that, we'll be able to see a big spike in dummy data here, and that's broken down by day. I'm going to select to break it down by month. Now, once I've done that, that changes the way that the graph looks, and we can see that there's data populating here, but it's really just impressions and clicks because that's the overview. You can change any of these different metrics that you want to analyze simply by clicking on it, and then you can select cost, clicks, CPC, CPM, impressions, video impressions, views, cost per view, and view through rate. There's a couple other things that you can do if you want to filter the data. You can select only these ad formats. So by default, we have all of them selected. You can select only to look at active or paused campaigns. By default, we have both set up. And now that we've selected that, we can see the overview here. So this is telling us that in October of 2022, we had 4,311 impressions. And in May of 2023, we had 30,828 impressions. And then all of the other data that you're looking for is to the right. If you want to add conversion data, simply click on conversions and select the data that you are looking for. So we can add, for example, the dynamic value pixel, and we'll select all of this. And we'll also look at the retargeting pixel, which is right here. Click apply, and then simply scroll to the right, and you can see the conversion data is here, and the retargeting data is over here as well. But let's say that we want to dive in and dig a little bit deeper. We're not just looking for the overview, but we want to know more. We can click on locations, and by default, if you're running a campaign just in the United States, you'll be able to see where all of this performance is coming from. And everything is kind of heat mapped, so that way you can see, okay, Texas is doing great in terms of impressions, but what about clicks? So let's change that to clicks. Oh, okay, Arizona is actually generating more clicks than Texas. That's interesting. And then down on the bottom in the table, you can actually see by state how it looks. And we can filter as well. So let's say clicks, we want to filter by the top number of clicks. Okay, Arizona has 16. They're the top performing. Arkansas has 6, and so on. Within here, you can also select conversion data. So click on conversions, and let's say we just want to see the number of conversions by state. If we scroll down, we can see the conversions by state, and we can also filter. And we can use that information to kind of custom tailor our campaign, maybe hone in on the geographies that are really driving conversions. The same is true for devices, operating systems, carriers, targeting categories, and the different campaigns and variations that are performing. You can dive into any of these different, let's call them targeting buckets, and look at what device types are, driving the most number of clicks or the most number of conversions, and really hone in and maybe even create custom campaigns around those devices. The same is also true for operating systems. If you wanted to say, look at how the performance looks in terms of iOS compared to Android compared to Windows. So all of that data is really at your fingertips underneath the statistics page. If you have any questions at all, you can go to our support page, or you can always send us an email at contact@Topple, and somebody would be happy to jump in and give you a hand.